The night air in downtown Oakland carried a sharp edge, cool enough to make breath visible, warm enough to invite a late ride. Malik Carter adjusted the strap of his helmet, a faint squeak from the buckle breaking the stillness. He was 24, a graduate student in urban design, pedaling home after a long evening in the studio. His tires whispered against the pavement, the city around him half asleep, neon signs flickering, streetlights humming. He loved these quiet hours. On his bike, he felt free, faster than the day's worries, untethered from everything but the rhythm of his legs. Freedom ended with the sudden bark of a siren. Red and blue lights exploded behind him, painting the empty street in urgent flashes. "Pull over, right now!" Malik's heart stuttered. He glanced back, confused. He was in the bike lane. His headlight was on. He'd done nothing wrong. Still, he slowed, coasting to the curb as a black and white patrol car squealed to a stop beside him. The driver's door slammed. A tall officer stepped out, broad-shouldered, buzz-cut, a flashlight already in hand. "Hands where I can see them," the officer barked. "Now!" Malik raised both hands, palms out. Is there a problem, officer?" The beam of the flashlight stabbed into his eyes. "You blew a stop sign back there," the cop said, "and that light on your bike looks dim. Could be stolen property." "I stopped, and this bike's mine," Malik answered, his voice steady but his pulse racing. The officer's lip curled. "License or ID, and step off the bike." Malik complied, sliding one foot to the ground. The asphalt felt colder than the night air. What followed blurred together, rapid-fire questions, a pat-down that felt more like a shove, the metallic clink of handcuffs. "You fit the description," the cop muttered. "What description?" Malik asked, but the answer never came. By the time they reached the station, it was past midnight. The charge, suspicion of possessing stolen property and resisting an officer. No stolen bike had been reported, but paperwork was filed anyway. Detective Andrea Vega, assigned to overnight intake, eyed the report and frowned. "Bodycam footage?" she asked. "Of course," the arresting officer, Sergeant Keller, said, a trace of irritation in his voice. "Good. Let's have a look," Vega replied. Morning broke over the bay as Malik sat in a holding cell, staring at the cracked tile floor. He replayed every second of the stop, each detail a knot tightening in his chest. He'd read enough headlines to know how stories like this usually ended, with fines, maybe worse. But somewhere down the hallway, a computer monitor flickered to life. The footage began, Keller's dash cam catching Malik in the bike lane, coasting smoothly, stopping fully at a blinking red. The timestamp proved it, no violation. Next clip, the body cam. The audio captured Keller's voice before he even stepped out of the car. "There's a black male on a high-end road bike. Looks like the one from that stolen bike call last month. Let's check him out." Not tonight. Not this bike. A call from last month. Vega leaned closer. The video showed Malik stopping exactly where the law required, waiting 3 full seconds before rolling through the intersection. No dim light, no erratic moves. Then came the stop itself. Keller's voice sharp, commanding. Malik's responses, measured, respectful, the pat-down, the unnecessary cuffs. Finally, the words that froze the room. "You fit the description. Black male, athletic build. That's all I need." Vega hit pause. The silence was deafening. By late morning, Malik stood in a small conference room, wrists free but shoulders tight. Detective Vega entered with a folder in hand. "Mr. Carter," she said, "you're free to go, and you might want to hear why." She laid a printed transcript of the body cam audio on the table. Malik read the first lines, his jaw tightening. "He said that?" Malik asked quietly. "Every word," Vega replied. "And the footage shows you didn't run a stop sign. Your light was fine. There was no probable cause. What happens now?" "That," Vega said, "is up to internal affairs. And to you." A week later, the hearing room inside Oakland's police headquarters overflowed with press, community leaders, and officers. Sergeant Keller sat stiff-backed at a long table, his attorney whispering in his ear. Across from him, Malik waited calmly, a quiet strength in his posture. The panel played the footage on a large screen, every word, every frame. When Keller's voice said, "That's all I need," a ripple of anger moved through the crowd. Keller's attorney tried to argue reasonable suspicion, but the evidence was relentless. The panel chair's voice cut through the tension. "Sergeant Keller, this department's policies and the Constitution require more than race and assumption. You violated both." A hush followed. Then the verdict. Suspension without pay. Formal investigation for misconduct. Malik didn't smile. He wasn't here for celebration. Outside, cameras flashed like lightning. Reporters shouted questions. "Do you feel vindicated? Will you sue the department?" Malik looked past them, spotting his sister waiting near the steps. He walked to her, ignoring the microphones. "You okay?" she asked. "I will be," he said. "But this isn't just about me." He faced the crowd at last, voice carrying across the plaza. "What happened to me happens every day to people who don't have a camera, who don't get a hearing, who don't get believed. My story isn't unique. That's the problem." The crowd quieted. "Tonight," he continued, "the body cam told the truth. Tomorrow we need a system that tells it without being forced." He stepped away then, the late afternoon sun cutting through the clouds. For the first time since the siren's flash, Malik felt the air lighten. Some stories end with an arrest. This one ends with a lens, unblinking, undeniable, showing the world exactly what happened. Because sometimes the most powerful witness is the one the officer wears on his own chest.